मैं कम इन सर अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
वालेकुम जी, बैठे हैं जी। कासिम साहब, कासिम साहब, दिस इज योर थर्ड अटेम्प्ट।
Yes sir.
Third attempt for PMS.
Yes sir. And
Okay.
I have exhausted CSS attempts as well.
What was the result of previous two?
Sir, in both attempts I failed in essay paper.
Essay paper. So
yes.
this is the first time you have qualified written.
Yes sir, this is the
Okay.
first time I have qualified.
Okay, good. So you are program officer in a,
Ghazali Education Trust.
you said Saeed Surgical Complex.
It's a non-medical director as. Actually,
Right.
I left the job when the COVID struck. I was laid off, but in the COVID, my father died as well. So
So
I
this
had
was
to-
your family business?
Yes sir, this is my family business.
Because Saeed shows that this
Yes
your
sir,
name.
this is my family business.
So you left and now you are working with.
I am helping my brother in managing the hospital as non-medical director, Said Surgical Complex.
Same. No, you said Ghazali something.
Sir, I was program officer first from 2017 to 2020. I was program officer at Ghazali Education Trust.
Acha, you
But
didn't
when the
mention.
COVID struck, I was laid off.
Okay. Okay.
So then my father, who was a doctor, he died of COVID.
Mhm.
So and the hospital, it was built by our parents. So my brother is also a doctor, so I had to join my brother to administer the hospital.
Right. So
So
currently.
now I am working in that capacity in,
You are correct.
with the administration of the hospital that was built by my parents.
Okay. Okay. So economic security is hallmark or key to our national security. Where this has been mentioned in our important document.
Sir, the 2020-22 national strategy, I have forgotten the exact name, but in January 2022, the national strategy was proposed by the Parliament of Pakistan, and it was a shift from the previous security-driven agenda of our foreign policy. So it was designated, or it was manifested in that policy, that from now on economic security shall be the fundamental pursuit of our national, for the economic security would be our topmost agenda of our national interest.
Right. So who presented this security paper? Any
Sir,
idea?
Mohit Pirzada presented this.
Not Mohit Pirzada, Mr. Mohit.
Mr. Mohit.
Mohit
Mr.
Pir-
Mohit Yusuf.
Mohit Yusuf.
Mohit
Yes.
Yusuf,
Mohit
he-
Pirzada is,
Oh,
is
he's
a different.
somebody else. Yes.
That's
sir.
right.
Mohit Yusuf presented this.
Okay.
paper.
You do you have any idea about NFC award?
Yes, sir. National Finance Commission
Mhm.
has been articulated under the Article 160, and President is tasked to divide. President is tasked to divide the resources between the federation and the provinces. Currently,
President?
President is tasked with administrating or overseeing the division of assets between federation and the provinces. So President actually divides the, actually made sure that the provinces got their share from the federation. So present at
No, but I believe President has nothing to do with the NFC award.
Sir, I have read it actually. So President is in according to Article 160. President is tasked with overseeing the distribution of finances between the provinces and the federation. So President oversee, and the federal finance minister and the provincial finance
Right.
minister, they work jointly for the
They agree to the formula.
they have President signed the 7th NFC award actually. So it was President.
That's
Yes.
right. Anyhow, you said in your exploring specific moments in history and ideas. Do you think that we have learnt a lesson from the fall of Dhaka?
Sir, I truly believe that Pakistan has learned its lessons from the fall of Dhaka. The disintegration of Pakistan has made it evidently clear that the state operators had some faults to it. So the first thing that we did after the fall of Dhaka was the institution of a constitution that was that was agreed upon by the all fabrics of society, and a great care was given to make the 1973 constitution more inclusive and to bring at table all stratas of society. So that was the first action that shows that we learned our lessons from the fall of Dhaka. Not only this, but also this constitution survived two martial laws, and we did not repeat the mistake of 1962 or 1970. We did not abrogate this 1973 constitution that was the hallmark of our federation and that underpins our federation. And two
But
successive
it remained operative only for 5 years. Bhutto was imprisoned. Martial law was promulgated.
Yes, sir, but again, the 1973 constitution was not abrogated, and Ziaul Haq did not impose any other, did not propose any other legislation, and he certainly did not propose any other of his own constitution. So the survivability of constitution display a maturity in our establishment as well as in our political elite throughout the history that shows that we have learnt our lessons from the fall of Dhaka.
Okay, it's controversial, but still I request my colleague to.
Qasim Said, can you tell me what were the 6 points of Mujibur Rahman? Any idea?
Sir, I couldn't recall 6 but I have somehow that the Bangladesh would have its own militia, and the constitution would make the two bodies separate, and the future constitution would be a loose federation. A confederation would be a loose federation or a confederation. So only that much I could recall from the 6 points agenda of Sheikh.
So what was the main reason of separation?
Sir, the
Elections were held, two parties were,
Bhutto
they
and-
emerged as major parties. Then why did there was separation?
Sir, this separation was actually, it was we can say that it was a trap of history that sooner or later we were supposed to fall apart.
No. That is, you are just your own guesswork. Once elections have been held, two parties have been selected. What should be the next step
The
for
next
handing
step-
over the government?
The next step should be to allow the winning party to form the government in Pakistan.
Government.
So when the Mujibur Rahman was disallowed to, when he was not allowed to form a government at a national level, that led to a serious deadlock between the eastern and the western part
No,
of Pakistan.
he did not allow. What did he?
He wasn't allowed to form a government.
He was not allowed. Government was not handed over to him.
Yes, sir. Government wasn't handed over to him. Yes, sir.
That is the main reason.
That is the main reason, exactly.
So did we have learned any lesson from that?
Yes, sir, we have learned the lessons from that, since that the state has not deprived any winning party to form a government, and moreover Pakistan has a successful 1973 constitution that is underpinning
Okay. Can you tell me something about Pakistan resolution?
Pakistan resolution.
When and where it was, the decision was taken place, the resolution took?
Pakistan resolution was taken place at Lahore at 1940. It was proposed by
What was the date?
23rd March 1940 at Minar-e-Pakistan, Lahore.
What was the main resolution?
The main
spirit
resolution-
of the resolution.
The spirit of the resolution was that the Muslims of India in the northern east and in the northern west wanted their separate autonomous homeland. So that was the main spirit of the resolution.
There should be a separate homeland for the Muslims. So who gave the name of Pakistan? Who was the person who originated, gave this country?
Chaudhry Rahmat Ali gave
So-
the name Pakistan.
Okay. So any idea what is meant by this circular debt?
Yes, sir. Circular debt is actually, it is experienced in Pakistan when the because of the line losses and because of the electricity theft and the people not paying the bills, the government is unable to generate enough funds to pay to the discos that distribute.
What is the
electricity.
rough idea of how much outstanding bill is?
Sir,
by-
according to the latest report, the circular debt is around 2.8% of GDP and 2.7 trillion rupees. It is around 2.7 trillion rupees.
So, okay. Any idea how to get out of this trap, circular debt?
So to get out of this trap, first of all, Pakistan must formulate a clean energy policy and must use its massive potential in wind energy, in solar energy.
What are the reasons of circular debt? Causes क्या होते हैं?
The line losses, because of we have a poor infrastructure, many of the electricity get lost. And second important reason is the electricity is stolen. The electricity is being stolen. And third important reason is that people are not paying the bills in most of the remote areas of Pakistan where the state
Non-recovery
couldn't
of them.
penetrate.
And
So these three
any
are-
other, I mean the major, another major reason.
No sir,
Do you have an idea, have you ever heard about the capacity charges, capacity payments, capacity charges?
no sir, I have not. I am
That
sorry,
is the
sir.
main thing, because you have to pay them the money even if you are not using the electricity.
Exactly sir.
So that is the
exactly,
main
exactly.
thing.
Exactly.
So once I am asking for solutions, in fact, you have to base your solutions on the causes.
Exactly. Sir.
So that's the thing. Then you have optional subject Punjabi. When we say, who wrote these lines? ही रात दी जोगिया झूठ बोले कौन रुख थे
रूठे
ते यार
रूठे
मनांदा
यार
ही।
मनांदा ही।
हाँ,
Heer Waris Shah.
Heer Waris Shah.
It was written. These lines were written in it.
Okay. So what are the main duties of an excise and taxation officer?
Sir, the main duties of excise and taxation officer is to generate resources, is to collect the revenue, is to collect the taxes on the houses or on the lands, and also to maintain the registration numbers, also to give the registration number to motor vehicles, and also to gather taxes on the motor vehicles, that we have annual taxes or some are once in a lifetime taxes. These taxes are collected by the excise and taxation officer.
Have you ever heard this Satluj Inter-Environmental Network? एक प्रोजेक्ट अभी शुरू की है, करने वाले हैं पंजाब गवर्नमेंट।
Satluj Environmental?
सतलुज इंटर एनवायरमेंटल नेटवर्क।
No sir, I have not.
ये लाइंस को वो मुख्तलिफ शहरों को कनेक्ट करने लगे हैं, ये सो मोटरवे के साथ ना। दैट इज़ द लेटेस्ट। ओके, थैंक यू।
You've done your MPhil in international relations.
Yes sir.
So which, did you write any dissertation or a thesis?
Yes sir.
So
The
what was-
topic
what was
of my
it?
thesis was impact of terrorism on Pakistan-India relations from Mumbai attacks to present. So that was my dissertation.
Okay, that's on India-Pakistan relations.
Yes sir.
Okay, right. You must have read about the Second World War and the First World War also. So can you just list at least 3 major mistakes made during the Second World War by various protagonists?
Sir, actually the mistakes lied in history that Versailles Treaty was one of the biggest.
Second World War.
Yes, the Second World War, Versailles Treaty was the reason behind the Second World War, but the other reasons is that countries failed to adopt, to strengthen the League of Nations, and they failed to check the.
No, you're talking, I'm talking about mistakes made during the Second World War. So
During
World
the-
War has started, so League of Nations is dead and also Treaty
Yes,
of
sir,
Versailles failed.
The appeasement policy of the Britain was the first mistake. The second mistake was the Holocaust of that was carried out by the Germany, and the third mistake was to allow the Russia to penetrate so far in the Europe by the Western countries. So I believe these 3 are the greatest mistakes of the Second World War.
Okay, now Nuremberg trials.
Yes, sir.
I want you to just stretch your imagination a little bit and compare the Nuremberg trials with the trials of the collaborators which were carried out in Bangladesh. Are you aware of these
Yes, sir.
trials of the collaborators?
I am aware of both trials, sir.
Right. So
Yes.
what are the commonalities and what are the differences?
Sir, the commonalities include that both were the war crimes, and they were actually carried out to punish the perpetrators of
Okay, let's
the crimes against
let's
humanity.
hear about
But the-
what was the legality of the Nuremberg
Sir,
trial
the
court?
legality of the Nuremberg trial was actually that they have carried out crimes against humanity. So that was the legality. So
No, illegality I'm talking about. What was the illegality?
Illegality?
Of it? Yes.
Sir, illegality of the Nuremberg trial was that it was carried out by the winning power and not the German courts. So if the crimes against humanity has been taken place, they must have taken place in the German courts, and the German judiciary must have punished those perpetrators. And in the Bangladesh court, Bangladeshi trials, that Sheikh Mujibur Rahman and Zulfikar Ali Bhutto actually agreed on the principle that no one would be tried for the atrocities.
Where and when did they agree? Can you tell me where did this agreement take place?
Sir, it was
Mujib and
actually a
Bhutto?
non-formal agreement.
Where, when?
Sir, at the summit of 1974,
No, there was no
OIC.
such, there was no such agreement there.
It wasn't.
No.
I actually heard the speech of. I actually read the newspaper article about the Zulfikar Ali Bhutto speech, and he said that the Bangladesh should not.
No, Bhutto can
develop-
say whatever he wants to. He can say that Bangladesh should send the entire reserves in their state bank to Pakistan. That anybody can say that. But was there an agreement which you said?
Sorry, sir, I do not know about that particular agreement.
Do you know that the law under which the Nuremberg trials were held was designed much before the crime, after the crimes which were committed? So is there a possibility of a law to be applied retrospectively?
No, sir, it is. There is no possibility of applying the laws in a retrospective.
So
manner.
that is the illegality in the Nuremberg
Yes, sir.
trials.
Exactly.
And in the case of Bangladesh, do you know of anybody who was tried and then executed?
Mullah Qadir sir was tried and executed.
Why was he tried and why was he executed?
Sir, he was tried because of his connection with Al Badr, and he was a freelancer and not a part of.
And
the
what was Al Badr and Al Shams?
Al Badr and Al Shams were actually non-state actors, and they were Islamist political parties who took up weapons to fight the.
Where did they get the weapons and all?
Sir, they got all the support they needed from Pakistan's national armies, Pakistan security apparatus.
So they were the auxiliaries.
Yes, sir, auxiliaries, but non-state auxiliaries.
Chalo, let's leave this for the time being. United Nations.
Yes, sir.
Do you think it is irrelevant nowadays? It's not doing anything for peace and security.
No, sir, I do not consider United Nations to be irrelevant. It is true that Security Council and the veto power of the five greater nations have caused the United Nations to be paralyzed. But if we think about all the good deeds that the United Nations is doing in serving the humanity, in contacting all of the freedom movements or all kind of social movements and all kind of social upheavals, United Nations is at forefront confronting all the ills of the present day society. For example, it is fighting.
Can you tell me about any freedom movement of today which is being promoted by the United Nations?
The Palestinian PLO or Palestinian.
So how is the United Nations promoting?
United Nations has offered its seat to the Palestinian Liberation Organization, and it is PLO is one of the member of United Nations General Assembly.
PLO,
PLO. Palestine is actually.
Palestine.
Palestine.
Yeah, but how is it helping the freedom for Palestine
Sir,
or
they-
establishment of an independent Palestinian state?
Sir, the permanent settlement of Palestine would definitely come from the resolution of United Security Council if all the members would agree on that resolution. But United Nations is providing a platform to address the issue of Palestinian cause and also to raise the issues of Israel brutality on the Gaza, and United Nations General Assembly again and again condemned the.
But what I'm saying is the irrelevance of the United Nations comes from the fact that you come and say whatever it is and nothing happens.
Sir, it is true,
So-
but it is almost very difficult.
So
to-
what kind of a clout does the UN have?
Sir, UN has transcended actually its purpose somehow. And now it has shifted from maintaining peace to helping the humanity in achieving other goals, in combating the AIDS, in combating the pandemics, in maintaining the climate, in bringing out the gender equality. So it has, although it has failed in political domain, but it has.
So, okay, my last question. You mentioned about Chaudhry Rahmat Ali,
Yes, sir.
a great hero of Pakistan.
Yes, sir.
A.K. Fazlul Haq presented the resolution.
Yes, sir.
Where did they disappear after independence? What happened to Chaudhry Rahmat Ali?
Sir, Chaudhry Rahmat Ali actually presented the paper Now and Never. And if we see the
मैं बाद की बात कर रहा हूँ,
Yes, sir.
after
the
1947.
Pakistani maps that he displayed in that Now and Never pamphlets showed the exact depiction of his mind that what kind of Pakistan he actually envisioned. But the truncated Pakistan, when we got the independence, and the truncated Pakistan made him so much angry. So he protested against the policies of Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah and the Liaquat Ali Khan. So he was forced to leave the country, or some says that he actually went to self-imposed exile in Britain, and now he is and then he died there around 1950s.
And what about A.K. Fazlul Haq?
A.K. Fazlul Haq was declared traitor of the newfound state, so he went
why
back to
why
Bengal.
do such things happen, that you are a hero one day and then you are a traitor the next?
Sir, yes, this is a dilemma that we are witnessing here because of many factors that involve, because of the attitudes that is
Good,
that
thank
is
you.
prevailing within the
Ji,
Punjab.
please.
You have your research paper on terrorism in that specified area. When did India use the word, right, the terrorist state for Pakistan?
Sir, I am sorry, I do not know the exact time when India first.
Okay, when this phenomena, right, started happening between India and Pakistan, that India started sponsoring Pakistan as a terrorist state.
Sir, it started after Pakistan spotted the Kashmiri Mujahideen in the 1990s, that India started Pakistan calling a terrorist state.
Okay, and now you have what happened in Gurdaspur attack? Who was responsible?
I am sorry, sir, I do not.
You have given me the specified era that from
I wrote the
Mumbai to Pulwama.
to present, sir, actually, but I wrote this piece in 2018, so I couldn't recall all the events that I have actually written in my research paper.
Any idea about Uri incidents?
Sir, in Uri incident, actually some terrorist attack.
What happened? When?
Sir, Uri attacks occurred in 2016, and after that Uri attack.
How many attacks occurred in 2016? There was also another major terrorist attack.
Sir, other was Gurdaspur attack, and these two attacks were occurred in 2016.
It was not Gurdaspur.
पठानकोट अटैक,
Pathankot.
उड़ी एंड
Okay.
पठानकोट अटैक.
Now let's relate it with the other terrorist activities from the history. From the history. Now let me ask the question. What do you know about Khalistan movement?
Sir, Khalistan movement was actually a nationalist separatist movement, started in the province of the Punjab, and the Punjabi nationalists tried to separate from the state of Federation of India, and it was centered around the that Golden Temple, and it started from there, and that led to the Blue Star operation. So that is the Khalistan movement, that Sikh wanted a separate homeland for themselves.
When did this movement begin? And
Sir,
has it come to an end?
This movement began in the early years of 1980s, being the Blue Star operation being carried around 1984. And no, this movement has not died yet, because the Akali Dal also has some of the elements that are extremely radicalist, also supports the Khalistan. But most of the Sikh diaspora in Canada and England is continuously sparkling the issue of Khalistan again and again.
Okay, if you remember Blue Star operation, then do you also remember the brass tack operation or brass tack exercises?
Sir, I know that they occurred after Blue Star operation, but I do not know about the particular details.
All right. In which year Rajiv Gandhi was murdered? Or yes, he was murdered.
Sir, I think he was murdered in 1991.
What about Indira Gandhi? When did
She was murdered in 1984.
1984? Okay, now the last question is right from, do you know something about Hafiz Jalandhari? Because today is his death anniversary.
Yes, sir. He was the writer of our national anthem. He wrote Pak Sar Zameen Shad Baat.
What else you know about him? Any other contribution by Hafiz Jalandhari?
No, sir. I do not know any.
His famous poem.
No, sir. I do not know about any other of his poem.
शाहनामा इस्लाम भी है।
Shahnama Islam.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
और अभी तो मैं जवान हूँ भी उसी ने लिखा हुआ है। हाँ, तो ये प्लीज रिसाइट नेशनल एंथम।
Should I stand, sir?
You should tell.
पाक सर ज़मीन शाद बात ईश्वर हसीन शाद बात तू निशान अज़्म आली शान अज़्म पाकिस्तान मरकज़ यकीन शाद बात आई कुड रिकॉल दैट माई सर।
वेरी गुड। अभी आपके कासिम, अभी एंड में आपके मुंह पे स्माइल आई है। आपका लेवल ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन आई मस्ट से इट्स वेरी गुड, ठीक है ना, लेकिन थोड़ा सा ज़रा स्माइल भी दे दिया करें प्लेजेंटली, ठीक है ना। लेवल ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन बहुत अच्छा है, पर्सनालिटी आपकी माशाल्लाह बहुत अच्छी है, यू कैन स्पीक वेल। ऑब्वियसली हर किसी को हर सवाल का जवाब नहीं होता, ठीक है ना, और डिफरेंट ज़ाहिर पूछते हैं, लेकिन कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल आपका बहुत अच्छा है। एक दो चीज़ों में जैसे NFC अवार्ड है, आप प्रेसिडेंट पे इंसिस्ट करते रहे, हालांकि प्रेसिडेंट का कुछ वो उसमें कंट्रीब्यूशन नहीं होता। ये प्रोविंसेस ने फेडरेशन के साथ बैठ के डिसाइड करना होता है कि उनकी पॉपुलेशन कितनी है, एरिया कितना है, उसके बेसिस पे एक फार्मूला बनता है, तो वो बस उसकी डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन होती है। एनी हाउ, गुड एंड विश यू बेस्ट ऑफ लक। दिस इज व्हाट आई कैन से।
Thank you so much.
I have almost the same observations. I think you can speak well, you can articulate the ideas, and you have pretty good level of information. But again, I would say, since it's a competitive exam, there is no end to that. So you work to be at the top of the group. तो वो keep on working hard, जिसमें ज़्यादा इंफॉर्मेशन लॉजिकली और ये वो, तो इसमें देख लें ड्यूटीज़ ऑफ एन ETO क्या हैं, व्हाट आर द प्रोविंशियल टैक्सेस भी देख लें, फिर उसके बाद ये जो एक ACK की ड्यूटीज़ हैं, क्या काम है, स्मॉग है, फिर लेटेस्ट ये जो डेवलपमेंट्स हैं, तो उनको देख लें। एंड आई विश यू गुड लक, यू आर अ गुड कैंडिडेट। थैंक यू
जी। Yeah, you did well. Yeah, sometimes you would realize one of the panel members or something, they would like to provoke you by, making a preposterous statement. उसमें आपने unnerved नहीं होना है,
Yes,
ठीक है? You maintain your cool. दो तीन चीजें, you have information, that's good, but try not to just hang on to one part of the information. जैसे एक क्वेश्चन पहला आपका था कि reasons for lessons learned, fall of Dhaka. So you went on to the Constitution, 73 Constitution, and
उसी पे
इतना ज़्यादा आपने उसको किया कि you couldn't go to the second point at all. ठीक है ना? तो ठीक है, you know about the Constitution and how there was a consensus built around it, but that was not all. There were other things also. ठीक है ना? तो वो थोड़ा सा ख्याल रखें. The other thing is कि आपके कई दफ़ा choice of words आ जाते हैं. The disintegration of Pakistan, that means Pakistan ख़त्म हो गया ना, disintegrate हो गया. वो ठीक है, वो partition हो गया या separation क्या है. Then and one, you made a statement, you could have been picked on that and you wouldn't have had any answer. So I mean, कहा था कि Pakistan was destined to be, partitioned or separated. So there's nothing in this destiny as such. They were the mistakes which were committed.
Yes, sir. That's true, sir.
There are a number of other countries which have separate provinces, separated by sea or by hostile territory, and they
Exactly,
continue to remain, I would say, united countries. So there was nothing as such, कि वो पहले से ही ये था. तो बाकी generally you're good. The only thing is that you just have to relax and एक आप questions को one by one logically handle करें. I'm sure you'll do well. जी please.
मतलब सारी ऑब्जर्वेशंस आपको कन्वे कर दी गई हैं, तो हिस्ट्री के बारे में भी यू हैव सीम टू हैव गुड इंफॉर्मेशन, दैट यू राइट, और गुड लक. ओके, दैट्स ऑल.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Best of luck.